How's it going, everyone? It's Gavin from Ball Stew, and in this video I want to talk to you guys about the whole process of breeding ball pythons. Now, I'm going to try and discuss this in segments, so I'm going to try and keep it short but detailed. In this segment, we're just going to discuss what can go wrong or what may go wrong. First and foremost, there is no magic formula in breeding ball pythons. It's all down to conditions, and your conditions need to be correct. What I basically mean by that is you can grow a hatchling up, whether it be a male or a female or both, from a young age, get it to that amazing breedable stage, and nothing happens. Now, that could be down to the animal or it could be down to your conditions. All this is where collecting your own data, doing your own research, putting together your own unique recipe, and even your own unique sort of breeding room or breeding facility is basically what it's all about. You need to create the correct conditions for your animals to breed, and then it doesn't always happen. So basically what you need to do is make sure your conditions are as best as possible. Every year, like I keep saying, you know, we're constantly learning new things, or we're changing things to make things slightly better. I had a breeding recipe before, and things changed, so I had to alter that breeding recipe. At this minute, at this point in time, this particular 2020 season, let's say, is swinging. It is going amazing. It is going according to plan, just tweaking a few temperatures here and there, adjusting a few things, and everything is singing and I'm back on par. You can go out there and you can buy proven breeder snakes. That does not mean they will breed for you. That does not mean they will produce a clutch of eggs for you. A proven breeder basically means it was proven with the previous owner or with the previous breeder. Again, you could hatch the most amazing hatchling in the world. That does not mean it's gonna grow up to become this amazing breeder for you. I've certainly seen it. A good friend of mine has got a pastel clown female, and she's probably knocking on 5 years of age. She's around about 2.5 kilos, and she has still not given him a clutch of eggs. Just one of those things. She's a beautiful female, and you know, he may just keep her as a pet, but she has not produced a clutch of eggs, and yet his breeding recipe or his setup is bang on. So what you need to do before you get into the breeding cycle or the breeding side of things is you need to make sure your conditions are spot on. One of those conditions depends on where you are in the world. Where you are in the world will make a massive difference due to your temperatures or your humidity or your winter drop or your winter temperatures, let's say. It will make a massive difference to your animals. Fortunately, here in the UK, we've had some brilliantly cold weather, or some great rainy days or rainy weeks, which has certainly brought on the breeding cycle for these beautiful animals. So I'm probably the only one, or we are probably the only people in the world who love to see storms, rain, cold, all that sort of good stuff, because we know the air pressure is going to drop. Our animals know what time of year. Back in the day, we used to do a winter drop in temperature. I don't do that anymore. I just simply let the air pressure drop just by controlling the window in the room, and allow these snakes to feel the drop in pressure themselves. That basically helps my animals switch on into breeding mode. Now, again, that's not always the case, and there is nothing out there, and I can guarantee you this, there is no breeding cycle out there which is going to be 100% perfect, and that's because your setup is going to be different to everyone else's. And that's where you take bits of information and then you put together your own breeding recipe. So with that being said, let's talk about the various weights of animals, and this can be a double-bladed sword. And the reason for this is because there is a standard level, let's say, or a industry level, and then there is the level of an experienced breeder, and I'll go into that in a bit more detail. So the standard level tends to be for a female around about 1500 grams, around about 2 to 3 years of age. So if you're starting out, you need to aim for that female to be around about 1500 grams, around about 2 to 3 years of age. That's the females. Do you get the most success? Possibly yes, because your female is well established, she's got some good body mass on her by that point, and she's mature enough. Males are a little bit different. The baseline for a beginner would be round about a year of age and round about 800 grams. If you can push it a little bit further, that's fine. A little bit of history lesson. So back in the day, it was thought that an overweight male, so a male anything over 1500 grams, was basically too big and a bit too lazy and he wouldn't do anything. Well, I've got some males in my rack which are 1500 grams and they will lock to a hose pipe. What that basically means is they are my backup males and they do a tremendous job, and I'm really reluctant to let these guys go. For me, I would rather have a male between 800 to 1000 grams, just so I know he's got that little bit more body condition, and if need be, you know, make him so he's 14 months of age instead of 12 months of age. This is just a baseline. When you're more of an experienced breeder, you tend to know what you're looking for. So now the sizes or the age of the snake can change. So the weight of the snake can change, or the age of the snake now can change. And what I mean by that is, now as a breeder, what I do is I can pick up a snake and go, right, okay, she looks about 13 to 1400 grams, or she looks round about 2000 grams, or she looks 1000 grams. And you sort of get a feel of how the female looks and how she's acting. You also get a good chance to see the body mass, and we're talking about good condition body, you know, muscular condition, you know, all that comes into play as well. So the more experienced you get, or the more breeding seasons you get under your belt, you tend to know a bit more what you're looking for. The males, then you can afford to breed them that little bit younger, a little bit lighter, because you know how to work that male. You know what you're going to look for if he starts going off food, either to get him back on food, so again you put a bit more weight on him, or you just pull him from the breeding team. And that's something that a lot of people aren't aware of. And again, this is something that will only come from experience, guys. I can't teach you how to look at your snakes and say, yes, that's going to work, or no, that's not. That is just pure and plain down to it being experience. If you are new to breeding and you want to follow the baseline, like I said, female around about 1500 grams, 2 years to 3 years of age, and male roughly around about 800 to 1000 grams, roughly about a year of age or 14 months. That tends to be the safe zone. As an experienced breeder, every year I collect data, I write it all down. I've got a folder full of information that I've collected over the breeding seasons: temperatures, humidities, air pressures, weights of females, ages of females, ages of males, weights of males, how many eggs, how many slugs, what type of year did we have here in the UK, i.e. did we have a real hot summer or real hot winter, or, you know, all that sort of stuff. All that data is collected, so then I can look back and go, right, that year I had an amazing year. What happened that year? What made me have such a great year? And then I can look back at all that data and say, right, oh yeah, we had a real good winter and the summer wasn't that warm, so a lot of the snakes continue to breed through the warmer months, and we continue to get eggs on the ground literally all year round. So all that data collection helps you progress further forward faster. So I'll give you a prime example. The one year I had a female, she was 2 years of age, just over 2 years of age. She was only 1100 grams. However, she had great body mass, and what I mean by that was she was very, you know, her muscle mass was dense. She was very, you know, she was in great condition. So I started to pair her. So I put a male in there, and again, she went off food. That's another thing. Again, we listen to our animals. We pay attention to them. You know, we don't tell them what to do. They tell us what they want to do. So I put a male in there. He locked. Once he'd finished locking, which, and again, I'll touch on the locking side of things. A lock can sometimes last anything from 20 minutes up to 3 days. Okay, so you need to keep an eye on him. So once he'd finished locking, I think it was about a day and a half on this instance, took him out, put him back in his tub. Then I offered the female some food, and she went food crazy. She started smashing food. She actually went up in weight. Just before she laid eggs, she was up at over 1900 grams. She was just smashing food. That year, first time mom, she gave me 11 eggs. 11 perfect eggs. She gave me 11 eggs. And for me, that was absolutely amazing. She then continued after that. She then went on to carry on smashing food. She put all the weight on, and the second year I bred her, she was up at 1600 grams. So again, that process, I like my females to be that little bit heavier the next season. So I always try and give them the food. And I think you can see there's a pattern here, because when they're growing follicles, we rely on the food to feed the follicle growth. After they've laid the eggs, we put the food back into them to bring back the quality of the mass or the muscle mass. So again, it is heavily food related with these animals, and we need to bear that in mind. Remember the weights, remember what you're looking for, age, all that sort of stuff, the condition, okay, before you start throwing the males and females in with each other. If you are going to go into breeding, please bear that in mind. Yes, your animals can die, however, they can die out of the breeding season. I had a friend of mine who's got a beautiful female. She laid a perfect clutch earlier this year. She went on to continue to smash food, and unfortunately he woke up this morning and she was belly up. It happens, unfortunately. There is no indication why or what happened. It's just one of those things, and it does, trust me, it is gut wrenching. But for now guys, I want to thank you all. Remember, there's t-shirts and videos popping up all over the place. Thanks for all your support. I love and respect you all. Hopefully you'll like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, hit that notification bell as well if you don't mind. It really does mean the world to me, your support. Again guys, leave a comment in the comment box below. I love reading your comments, and coming up next is another video and some t-shirts here. Okay guys, but for now, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.